Hey, what's up, Turtle? This. How are you doing today? Happy weekend. Any better? I don't know. Light's gonna be weird because it's that time of day. So I'm gonna be making some stew for Mrs. Biscotti because she is sick. I'm pretty good. I'm actually pretty thankful that I'm not sick. So. Hey, what's up, Wanda? It has been too long. How are you doing on this lovely Saturday afternoon, early evening? I know, right? It's like I'm even earlier than usual, so the sun is just like right up in my grill. I'm good. I was just telling Turtle I'm actually feel pretty lucky. Mrs. Biscotti's got some nasty bug, and I managed to avoid it, so I'm making her some stew to try and hopefully help her feel better. How's your roommate with the loud watching of the videos? Yeah, I hope she feels better too. She moved out? Nice. She could feel all your evil looks. Oh, it was just for the summer? Gotcha. It's like a sublease type situation. God damn it. Dropping some onions. Hey, thanks for that host, Nick. Might be one of those auto host things, but if you are in here, thank you for the host. So on the other side, I'm gonna start kind of starting the stew. So I'm just gonna get those onions going. I'll probably do the carrots next. So yeah, I just got some baby carrots I'm going to use. The nice thing with this, the mini camera has a delay. Yeah, I always got some issues here and there, so not all that surprised, to be honest. Sorry about that. The nice thing about using the mini carrots for something like this is they're already clean, and they're, you know, relatively uniform, so you can just chop them. And they'll stay in a relatively similar size. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad it's... I mean, I always, like I said, nothing's perfect on my stream. I don't really know how to fix a lot of that stuff when I do have an issue. So it's just kind of a grin and bear it type situation. But, yeah, that should be enough. Probably should have chopped some of this off stream, but whatever. I just wanted to go live and kind of get started, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of back and forth too, since Mrs. Biscotti isn't here. Well, I mean, she's here, but not physically with me in the kitchen. I'm gonna be having to do kind of everything. So you'll see me kind of bouncing around a little bit. But the nice thing with this stew is because I'm cooking things at slightly different times, that allows me to do a lot of my prep while stuff is cooking. He is not in town, however, he will be here permanently as of Monday. So, not in my house, but in the same town. So, quite excited to have a good friend that I can see in person now on a very regular basis. I mean, permanently might be a strong word. He's moving here. I don't know, like, he plans on staying here for a long time. But, yeah, he signed a lease and he'll be about, 3 miles or so away from me. Yeah, I'm very happy for him. I think it's going to be good for his career as well. That was one of his big issues, was he felt like he was kind of running out of work in where he was. And where we are now, hopefully he'll have more opportunity, kind of a bigger job market, especially for what he does. So. Yeah, it's just a little over 5 minutes. And it's nice too, I don't have to get on any freeways or anything. I can get there all through surface streets. So it sounds like everyone's living situation is improving. Yeah, I'm glad that you were. Did the girl who left, did she get replaced by somebody? And if so, how how's that going? Hey, what's up, Thuggy? We got the carrots going in. Just gonna go ahead and get them thrown right in. Oh, in January? Alright. That's not too bad, I suppose. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add in a parsnip also. So this is essentially like a white carrot. It looks kind of dirty, like this is what the skin looks like. I've peeled it and it's this bright white, almost like a cream color. It's got a different flavor and slightly different texture to a carrot, but it's obviously in the same family. It gets a lot less sunlight to it. That's why it stays this white color. Oh, let's switch it up. Look at this. Oh, sorry. I like parsnips because it makes me often think of, there was a Chappelle Show skit that he did where there's a black family and a white family, and they switched mothers, or no, I think they switched fathers. I don't know. It was one of those like swap type, like making fun of those shows, and the white dad makes the black family some parsnips, and the mom asks, "What the fuck's a parsnip?" And yeah, it's just makes me laugh. But I actually really like parsnips, so yeah. No, they even smell different than a carrot, just like as you're chopping them. Yeah, the setup is just like a regular subscription. It's just you get a free one through having Amazon Prime. Ooh, that was almost bad. So, get this in there too. Hey, what's up, Smoke? Next up we'll do the bell pepper. I know, I would love to get partnered so you could throw your free Twitch Prime subs at me, but we're just a wee bit away from that. Cut this into thirds, which should be easier to work with. Yeah. Big ass pepper. And get some of this inner rib out. So all of the knife cuts I'm doing on this, I'm basically trying to make it so it's big enough, so it's not going to be like totally crazy small knife cuts like I often do. So it'll be big enough to get onto a spoon, but at the same time not be like the only piece that is on the spoon. So it'll have like, you can get a little piece of carrot, a piece of pepper, maybe an onion or something in it. And you'll see some of the other stuff we add too. Yeah, this pepper's no joke. It was kind of funny. I was at the market and kind of going through them, and this fucker was in the back. Kind of just pressed all the way. It's like one of the first peppers that they put in. And I'll gladly take that. It'll work well for what I'm doing. Can't even get my knife all the way across it though. Try to stack it a little bit. Yeah, no, it sucks too. Like, I feel a little extra bad for her because she's in the midst of studying as well. So, not the best time for her to be getting sick in terms of like her schoolwork. So we got some celery here. I did peel it. I talked about this another time recently, where it's kind of optional. In fine dining, they often do it. I actually like the texture that it creates when you peel it. There's a lot of really stringy fibers that run through the outside of the celery stalk. You just run a peeler over it, it kind of jams it up pretty quickly. But I like being able to remove some of it. I don't get crazy and do all of it, but just being able to remove some of that, I think does make for a better quality, and especially something like this that's going to be cooked in liquid. I feel like it does help. It just cuts down, like I said, on that stringiness. You can even see like some of it here. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Rice Krispie treat too, because I need to have something kind of fun to eat. Yeah, I know, right? Like, now that she's getting sick while studying, it's very much the, like, true college experience. All over again for her. It's like, yeah, getting sick in college was a very common thing. You've got stress, you've got so many people living together in a close area, nobody's taking care of themselves, nobody's eating properly, and everyone's just hooking up with each other, which is fun, but germs spread around quite fast. I would get sick quite often. You just gotta watch out for the STDs. That's the sickness you definitely don't want. to bring you guys over so you can see some of the stew action so far. It might look kind of dark just with the lighting in here right now. But hey, what's up, Lady Recluse? Thanks for coming by. So it might have looked kind of dark on that side of the kitchen just because we have all the natural light coming through here. But it's actually really pretty right now. There's the green from the celery, the orange from the carrots, kind of that pale white from the parsnip, the onion, the yellow from that bell pepper. It's all kind of just creating a nice pretty texture. So the thing with this stew too is I personally like to kind of get some cook on my vegetables ahead of time, which is what I'm doing now. If you want, you could do all your prep work ahead of time and then just kind of get either your water or your stock, whatever you're going to be using to cook it in as a liquid, bring that up to a boil and just like throw everything in. It'll still get to a nice soft consistency that way, but I always like caramelizing vegetables or meats or whatever ahead of time. I think it makes for a better end product. But this step is kind of optional. I also personally like it because it allows me to cook somewhat in stages. Otherwise I would have had to do all my prep work already, versus now I can have, prep as I go and be adding things to let them cook. You just want to make sure that as you're doing that, you're doing it in the proper order. Like I would not want to put like parsley in first because it would burn. You have to kind of think about how things are going to cook and when they'll be done, and how much color they're going to get on them. So just kind of have a plan of action a bit when you're going in that pattern. So I'm using some radishes too. People seem to either really like or really dislike radishes. I'm a fan. They are very good for you. Mrs. Biscotti is a fan too. And they're good for when you're sick. I kind of wish she was here because she could tell you more so than myself of, her nutrition knowledge. So, lady, have you tried trials at all this weekend? Or did you finish up your Iron Banner rankings? Okay. Last thing I've got, well actually no, not last thing. I've got a zucchini. Probably do this up in quarters. Alright, bye lady. Hey, thanks for that, host Luke. Appreciate that. All right. I feel like I missed some of chat there. My screen froze, so my bad. I'm gonna add a little bit of a jalapeno as well. Heat often provides healing quite a bit. You want to try and get her sinuses open and whatnot. Hey, welcome Zane. So yeah, we're making the wife some soup, like a stew almost. It's gonna have a lot of good stuff in it to try and make her feel a little bit better. So the jalapeno is one of the few things that I'll cut really fine in this. Don't want her to get a big chunk of jalapeno all of a sudden. That would not be good for her. She's getting stronger with spice, but okay. All right. Come on, our friend Mr. Leek. Leave him out of the party. Slice him down the middle. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing because I turned the camera. My bad. Oh, this guy's dirty as hell. So with leeks, I do tend to cut them first before I clean them, open them up so you can get water running through the whole thing. Oh, turtle. Getting smart with it. Yeah, even able to create some food puns. I would expect nothing less from you. So, and since it's a stew, I don't care quite as much about the preciseness of my knife work. Plus, I'm actually quite a bit sore. We moved a big piece of furniture this week, and I kind of messed up my back. So, not the most fun. Alright, so I'm gonna, let's see, what should I do next? I think we'll do this actually. Alright, so I'm also going to add in some tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes. Excuse me. And I'm keeping their juice as well with them. I'm just going to break them up with my hands. Always tends to make a bit of a mess, but I find it's the best way to do so. Hey, Big Mike, what's up? I can't hear the music, Turtle. I have because I have a stupid Mac, I have to basically use this other app to play it through my desktop, but then if I turn the desktop up, it gets like, you hear it twice and it gets a delay, and it's just a bit of a mess. But welcome, and I don't care how many people are in here. As long as somebody's learning something or people are having fun talking to each other, that makes me happy. But thank you everyone for hanging out, whether you're lurking, participating, whatever. Everyone is welcome. Thanks for that host, Mike. Appreciate it. So I'm just breaking this apart into kind of little bite-sized pieces. The nice thing about the peeled tomatoes too is obviously it has the skin off of it, so you're not going to get any big chunks of skin that aren't able to be broken down. But yet you still retain all the innards of the tomato, the seeds, and all that natural juice, which I want for this soup. So it's just like almost like a stewed tomato that's going in the stew. Hey, what's up, Ven? Sorry, I didn't see you sneak in here. Alright, that should be pretty good, and this is going to allow us to start getting some of the liquid into our stew. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and swing over to the other side. So you can actually start to see progress. Okay. There we go. You can start to see all the different colors of the vegetables that we've got going in here. Sweating down, getting some caramelization on them. Okay. We're going to add in that big bowl of tomatoes and their juice. All incorporated. Season as we go. So that acidity is going to need some salt to balance it out. Hey, what's up, Shelby? How are you? Back. Whew, it's much more of a workout cooking solo. Okay, so what else do we want to do with this right now? So, I've seen some of that actually. Mike, I feel like I've already seen one thing of it. I don't think it was in America, but it's coming to America soon. Sorry for this, like, light awfulness. This is not normally the time of day I stream. But I want Mrs. Biscotti to be able to eat this earlier than usual and get to bed, hopefully earlier than usual as well. Mega Bloks, okay. Oh, and you've been taking down shutters all day? That's pretty brutal. So you can see up to this point, this is completely just vegetables with some of that tomato juice. We want to be able to kind of hearty, how would you even say that? Heartiness, add heartiness to it. Whatever, I don't know. Anyway, I want to add some more protein to this as well. So we're gonna incorporate some beans and some pasta, but later then. Thanks for coming by, I do appreciate it. So this is actually reminiscent of a soup that my mom used to make me. And the noodle that's used for it is called bucchini di pepe. Probably can't really see that with the light. It's these little tiny balls of pasta. You could also use like an orzo if you like. Yeah, pinto beans. No, I actually didn't get pinto beans. I should have done that. That would have been good, but we won't be having any of that after dinner fun probably with her feeling the way that she's feeling. So kind of would have gone for naught. Hey, what's up, Ben? So I actually got black-eyed peas and navy beans. So that'll help add some protein, really thicken up this stew, kind of turn it from, like you were saying, it almost looks like the beginning of a salsa. It'll add that heartiness to it. This is, sorry, I skipped away from these noodles. There's something called Italian wedding soup that I'm trying to make bread and it's coming out way too airy but not fluffy. Okay, I'll come back to that in just 1 second. So, with this pasta, it's often little tiny meatballs, this noodle, and then a green that's called escarole. And that was like one of my favorite soups growing up. Its formal name is stracciatella, and so what they even do in the broth is they add in some eggs, and what happens is the eggs start to kind of run through the liquid. It's usually done with like a chicken broth or something. And stracciatella, I forget the exact translation, but it has something to do with the hanging of clothes. And so what happens is these little pieces of egg that are kind of strewn throughout the soup look like clothes that you would have hanging from a line in Italy. So anyway, it's a very long story for I really like this pasta. It makes me think of my mom, and it's cool. Alright, so here's the beans. So that was just 1 can of black-eyed peas and 1 can of navy beans. You could really use any kind of bean, including a pinto bean, to, again, kind of start thickening this up some and turning it more into a stew and just making it such more of a hearty meal. We're gonna have a shit ton of this. This might be one that we actually bring some extra to the firemen again. Who knows? I wasn't really planning on making this much, but I just kept grabbing shit. So. Oh. Okay, so. Turtle, I'll inform you another time. Okay, so Mike, coming back to your question. So, making out bread, but it's not coming out the way that I want. It's airy, but not fluffy. So, oh, god damn it. It's broken a bad spot. So, there could be a couple of different things going on. The fact that it is getting airiness to it means you are developing the gluten that you need to create. This is just some vegetable broth. It's good. So when creating bread, you need to create gluten. So that's what you're doing when you're kneading the flour. I'm not sure, honestly, I'm sorry, of your culinary knowledge. So forgive me if I'm like going over stuff you already know, but there's probably some stuff in here, or some people in here that don't know all of this process. So as you're kneading dough, so you've got your flour and all this different stuff, you need to be able to create gluten. And what's happening is you're essentially creating these webs of fibers that will expand when you cook it. And what happens is air is basically warmed up in this little pocket that's created, and that's what makes the bread rise. It kind of stretches. So that's good. You need to be able to create the gluten. Now, if you over mix it, that's a problem. So like if you're just over kneading the crap out of it. The other thing is you need to proof your dough. That's where, I assume you don't have a proofing box, but in restaurants and whatnot, we used to have these things that were actually called proofing boxes. You have to let the dough rest, and it will start to naturally rise on its own. Ideally, you want it to have kind of a controlled temperature and kind of a moist environment, kind of humid. That's why you have the proofing boxes. Kitchens are often pretty dry. So what you can do is if you've kneaded the dough into a ball and then you put it into maybe just like a big silver pot. Just like one of these. Take your dough, put it in the bottom of this. Take like a dish towel, clean one preferably, run it under hot water, and then just place this on top of the bowl. This one would actually take two because you want it to be fully covered. And that'll create that warm, kind of humid environment. And that'll allow the bread to rise and proof, which that will hopefully create more of the fluffiness that you're looking for, because what's happening is the gluten's starting to relax some and the air is starting to build up in it. And then when you put it in the oven, it'll complete that baking process, and you'll actually see the dough rise on its own before you even bake it. You want to knead it enough that you're really incorporating, creating those layers of the gluten fibers. Oh, Miss Kimbo came to visit. Hi. It's gonna just take some trial and error. It sounds like this is one of the first times you've tried it, so keep trying it and you'll kind of start to feel the appropriate texture. You'll see it, because, as you knead the dough, it kind of changes its texture the more you knead it. So how long would you say? I usually knead for like a bread dough, I'd probably knead it for a good 7 to 10 minutes. It definitely takes some good work to build up all those layers of the gluten. So yeah, I'd probably say 7 to 10 minutes. Give that kind of window. How long? Yeah, wheat flour is kind of a whole nother ballgame. A lot of times you have to change the proportions of some of the other things you're working with, like the water and the eggs and the salt and whatnot. Everything changes the way that it works when you incorporate different kinds of flours. There's rye flour, there's wheat flour, rice flour there's many different kinds. So I tend to work with, honestly, either just a bread flour or an all-purpose, and those tend to be good for when making bread. So this is getting some nice hardiness to it. I'll try to heat a little bit so we get this liquid really kind of up to temperature, because then I'm gonna put in our little pasta balls into it. While that's going, let's see. So the last ingredients I'm gonna add to this, again, to kind of bring it back to that Italian wedding soup. I couldn't find any escarole today. It's actually kind of hard to find out here. I got some arugula. It's still kind of at least an Italian style green. So that will be the green that we use in this. Add a little more salt. So that broth was low sodium. Some pepper. And of course, I'll test this before it's totally done. But that pasta that we add in is going to create, it's just going to add a lot of blandness to this. So we're probably going to have to re-salt after this. You're welcome. Yeah. Glad some of that was informative. So while this is coming up to temperature, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Rice Krispie treat. So, I'll do that over here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this. Well, this is almost mimicking rice. This is almost like Italian rice, if you will. So that's one of the reasons I really like it. You'll see as it cooks up, like it's these tiny little pearls. Oh, and I turned on the wrong one. So I'm going to use some coconut oil. Excuse me. One, two. A little extra. Hey, what's up, Tick? Yeah. Not sure if you were able to see. This is what we got going on so far. So we'll let that kind of come up to temperature. Oh shit, what up, D-Rick? And add in our marshmallows, which I almost just spilled everywhere. That would not have been good. And I'm gonna add in some more like healthy items today, since she is sick. It's like, we need to still have something that's fun, but I'm gonna do some almonds and just kind of like some mixed dried fruit. So it's got like cranberries, papaya, mango, let's see, raisins, pineapple. Hang on, dog. Come on. What are you doing? Yeah, you're fine. Come hang out in here. Come here. Yeah, I don't have anything for you, but you can at least be on camera and not be barking at people in the front of the house. No? Okay. Alright, so this is getting a little bit more thinned out now, which is what I want. Kind of turning it into that fluff. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Oh shit, I missed a lot of stuff. You guys are all talkative now. I'm sorry. Okay, so, hold on. We need to kill the flame on that. Add in some almonds. That's good. And then some of our dried fruit. I have to be kind of careful because Mrs. Biscotti does not like raisins. So I'll try and pick around as many as I can. And we're not going to tell her that any are even Of course, the raisins and the cranberries look very similar, so this is kind of a job in itself. Sorry, it's kind of slows things down. Yeah, Colorado should be everyone's little destination. It is freaking awesome here. Road trips are necessary. Alright, I think that should be good. Cool. This sounds like it's boiling away. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to add in some of our pasta. Yeah, dog is very hyped tonight. That should be good. And just let that start to absorb all that liquid. Gurgle, gurgle. Okay. I'm so much more organized when they are and one sweats. There you go. And one, you know it. Like, I've had these probably, God, I don't even know, over 10 years. Are they even in business anymore? Add our Rice Krispies into the treats. Oh, you know it, Wanda. I go hard in the paint, throwing elbows, dunking on fools with my 5'6" frame. Crap, I lost count. See, I should have weighed this out ahead of time. Whatever. Hopefully that was right. Last little bit was a pain in the ass to turn over. Okay. Do you have any use for the space for a brand new La-Z-Boy recliner? Probably not. I mean, you know, that's more of a Mrs. Biscotti question. Yeah. Just like, we can designate designate part of the basement as like tick space. But yeah, I can talk to her. Spray down our little tin. Should be smart. I'll get yelled at if I burn myself. Yes, just for you and Kimbo. I approve of that. I wasn't really paying attention to my time. Looks like a goulash? Yeah, I suppose. Okay, so coming back to this guy over here. Just kind of spread him around. Preferably let it cool a little bit before you do this. Don't burn yourself. And I have kind of asbestos fingers from working in kitchens. There we go. I will, Mike. Alright, so here is the Rice Krispie treat. So it's got those dried fruits and the almonds in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this. Here, I can actually show it up in here. Probably see it better that way. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this into the freezer so it kind of comes down in temperature a little bit quickly. Oh, I'll do that again, Wanda. I still owe Smoke some homemade Pop-Tarts too. That one will be using like a pie type dough instead of the puff pastry. This is all. Bloomer's just still in there, yep. What's in the little pan? It was a Rice Krispie treat. Yeah, I wanted to have, kind of like a dessert that would be good. I love Rice Krispie treats. But then also still I usually make them with even more unhealthy stuff. So I tried to stay a little bit healthier since she's not feeling well. So you can start to see, I'm not sure if you really can much, but those little pearls of pasta are starting to come through. And they're going to be really good too, because instead of just cooking them in water and then adding them in afterwards, we're cooking them right in the broth that they're going to be with. Hey, what's up, Omar? And Blank, I saw you in here too. So yeah, for those who did come in late, just so you know, at least the majority of the stuff that's in here, I'm not going to remember everything, but we had onion, carrot, parsnip, zucchini, celery, radishes, tomatoes with their juices, broth, and then navy beans, black-eyed peas, and then the little pearl Italian pasta. Oh yeah, part of why I'm streaming right now is the Dodger game got rained out, so I wanted to be able to make this, but I will be watching. I'll probably watch some of the postseason here and there, but I'll be watching every Dodger game. Hopefully they get to play in a lot still. Love to see them go far, of course, now that I'm gone, but... So here, I'm not sure if that... Yeah, you can kind of see that. These are the little pearls of pasta. You don't want them to fully cook. They still need another minute or two. Because they're going to continue to cook in this as it comes down in temperature. Yeah, we're going to definitely need more salt. Do I like the Raiders? No, I do not like the Raiders. I have a bunch of friends that like the Raiders. Oh, and there's jalapeno in here too. What do I think about horchata? I enjoy horchata. It's kind of hard to find up here. When I lived in Los Angeles, it was much easier to find. All the little Mexican bodegas would always have some really nice fresh horchata. Hell no, I don't like the Cowboys. Tick likes the Cowboys. Tick's the worst. Yeah, I like the Broncos. Mrs. Biscotti is a Packers fan. Actually, I went to the Broncos home opener this year, where they had the presentation of all the Super Bowl trophies and whatnot. It was pretty cool. Liquid churros? Yeah. No, that's actually a good way of describing it. Like, I enjoy the texture of it, of the horchata. It's not, completely liquid. Rice water, 10 out of 10. Okay, see, now I can even see the pearls are growing a little bit in size, so that means they're starting to really absorb more of the liquid and they're getting closer to being done cooking. And I'm not sure if you can even see, but if you remember what this looked like just a few minutes ago even, there was a lot more liquid. That liquid's being absorbed and it's starting to thicken up now. Yeah, Thug, I know you love sports. Oh shit, my Irish Christmas tree. I almost forgot about this guy. Would have ended up with a frozen tree. So, I'm gonna turn him out. Shh. Look at that. So we've got a nice, giant Rice Krispie treat. Is there space over here? I'm gonna try and make this complicated. Hey, what's up, Jay? Just in time. We've got like probably 5 minutes left. You love your notifications. Wooden spoon. Did I burn it? I don't think so. I think I've told the story about why I always use wooden spoons. It's also another shout out to my mom. Just like growing up in an Italian household, there was always a pot of red sauce and a wooden spoon. And when she would be mad at me, I'd often be in some, getting ready to go out. I got my shirt on and whatnot. She'd take that spoon, she'd put it in the tomato sauce, and then she'd hit me on the back. And it would put tomato sauce on my back. And the outfit that I wanted to wear out that night would be ruined. And yeah, it was always funny to me, because then I would even yell, and I'm like, she was the one who was doing the laundry in the house. This is back when I was in like high school. I'm like, you're the one who's gonna have to clean this. And she'd be like, I don't care. You don't get to wear what you want to tonight. Go get changed. And then I'd have to go get changed before I went out. So I've just always used wooden spoons since then. So yeah, now we're really starting to see those pearls of pasta come through and take up more and more space within this stew, which is what I'm looking for. In the meantime, I'm going to start cutting up this guy. That should be fine. Yeah, she was a masochist. Just creating work for herself. Sorry if I'm moving around this little camera while I do this. I don't have much space to work with. Let's see. This. Oh my god. So we're gonna get some nice little pieces out of this. It's still so fresh and gooey. Okay, there. So yeah, now we've got pieces that are all about that size, with the almonds and the fruit. Oh yeah. So now you can probably see it's really, there's not much liquid even left in this. I cut them in little pieces because she gets angry when I have a big one, but all I end up doing is just having like 3 or 4 of those at once. But yeah. Oh yeah, I added another ingredient last time. Let me turn that off. I'm so much more disorganized without her. Yeah, lots of sugar. All right, so this is the arugula. We're just gonna kind of add this in. Right at the end, I've already turned off the heat. Just a couple handfuls of it. I don't want to get too crazy. That should be good. Okay. And this will wilt down just from the heat of everything else that's in here. It'll add some nice streaks of green through it and provide a leafy green, which we were missing from this. Probably add a little bit more, actually. Just another kind of handful. So yeah, I wanted to see what I was saying about how it almost is similar to rice, where it's thickening this up, it's absorbing all that flavor, all that moisture, so now it's much more of a stew, almost like a porridge even, than a soup, where, I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of liquid in this prior to adding that pasta. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There we go. So, hopefully this will help her to get over her sickness. And then we've got the Rice Krispie treats for even more fun and hopefully tasty healthiness. I don't know. That was a bad one. Alright, so I fell way behind on chat, but hopefully y'all were keeping each other entertained. Thank you everybody for hanging out. It's nice to have a fun stream without any trolls or any garbage. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I was kind of hesitant to actually stream tonight, but especially since I was on my own. But no, I'm not sick. I'm trying not to be too loud because I heard Mrs. Biscotti shut the door and she's studying, so trying to disturb her as little as possible. But I know I'm disturbing her. But yeah, that is, oh yeah, dried fruits and almonds were in the Rice Krispie treat. So it was like, I hope she feels better too. Oh, the recipe? Like you want the regular recipe or the one that has the cannabis in it? Because those are 2 different recipes. The regular recipe is very basic. It was 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, bag of marshmallows, a little handful of almonds, a little handful of dried fruit, and then 6 cups of Rice Krispies, and then turn it out into a greased pan, and then I threw it in the freezer so it would just kind of like harden up a little bit faster. That was it. Super easy. But yeah, if you want to add cannabis to it, you can as well. But that's a whole nother recipe, and actually something I want to be showing somewhat soon. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out, providing a fun atmosphere. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad I chose to stream this. I was just going to make this for her quickly off stream, but oh, it's a nice sunset too. But yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend. I look forward to seeing Tick soon, and hopefully he will join me again for a guest stream, because those are always fun. But yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk and see you guys soon.